This is Volusia Today, a public information radio program brought to you by the County of Volusia.
In Volusia County, my name is Michael Ryan, and you are listening to Volusia Today, Volusia's one and only source for trusted local news. Oh, how was that, Maggie?
That was good.
No,
that was
I
solid.
stumbled through that. That's good. I'm joined by my co-host today, Maggie. Maggie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Heading into a big 3-day weekend for you, holiday weekend.
Oh, yeah. Well, you too. I mean, everybody.
Yeah, I guess I get to go too, don't I? What are your plans for the weekend?
Not much. Just hanging out at the house and hopefully get some wedding stuff done. But that's just always a given. So.
Well, so after, for our guest here, Maggie's wedding is a continual topic of discussion on the radio show every time.
Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
No, you can't talk yet. We've not introduced you. What do you think?
Nobody knows who you are yet.
So Maggie's location carried this show for about 6 months, and then she finally picked a spot, and now we don't really have much to talk about. So
Yeah.
what wedding stuff are we knocking out this weekend?
Hopefully colors. I've been really struggling with the colors. Originally, we were going to do green as bridesmaids dresses, and then I was like, well, I kind of like the pastel yellow, and then I kind of thought maybe I'll look like Beauty and the Beast. So it's been a very big topic of debate in our house.
And James participates in those?
He does.
That's his name, right? That's James?
Yes.
He has opinions on that kind of stuff?
He does. Well, to an extent. He does have an opinion. He is a very valid opinion, and he will give me assistance where needed. But we're definitely struggling with the colors. We have color palette picked, but depending on which color you pick as like your bridesmaids' dresses, makes a big difference. So it's been a struggle.
Like, that's the difference of getting married when you're like young and old, because you're worried about colors and stuff. And I got married last year, and it was really about like how much money do we have, and
those pictures are gonna live forever, and I don't want my friends to forever look like they're Belle from Beauty and the Beast if we pick yellow. And green, you could go too green, and then you look like snot green. So. It's a problem. There's lots of color swatches all over the counter. It's been a time. Pink is a good option. Pink is it's in our color board, but it's not the main color. So.
You know, Maggie, so we have a bunch of news. Generally, we do a couple news topics heading in before we bring our special guest on.
Yeah.
But Memorial Day weekend coming up, and we were talking a little bit off air to get the two of you in the same room at the same time. I know is a lot of stars had to align to make that happen. So let's not waste any time on all this other stuff.
Let's go for it.
So we have two other special guests this weekend. Heading in, we brought you guys in specifically for Memorial Day, which obviously is a big weekend for Volusia County and the beaches. I consider it to be kind of the kickoff of the summer for us. We all know summer really started in about January 15th because we live in Florida. But for, the rest of the people just show up on vacation and stuff, the crowds tend to get bigger for us. So we want to spend a little time talking about the beaches, Memorial Day, beach safety, and Jessica, we have you here to talk about a little bit of stuff that's going on with the beaches. So our first guest is Jessica Fentress. I mess up every name every time, so I nailed that one.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
So Jessica, just introduce yourself real quick. Tell us who you are.
I am Jessica Fentress. I'm the Coastal Director for Volusia County. I keep the beach, your parks, and your public beach accesses functioning and operational, and I also help significantly with your storm recovery efforts.
Nice. Thank you very much for that. We're going to talk about it. You guys are opening up new stuff, new ramps, new walkovers, and all that stuff?
We are opening ramps, walkovers every single day. We did a pretty good push on our ADA accessible accesses over the last 2 weeks. We've got Kingfish and Bethune ADA open down in Bethune area. Dahlia, which is a very popular park in Daytona Beach Shores, just opened up with ADA compliance. And Argosy in Orme by the Sea. We finally got that walkover back open, and it's ADA compliant as well. So we've got, across the entire coastline, we've got improvements for those people who may have some mobility concerns.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking over the show. We're going to come right back to you in just 1 second after we introduce our other guest, Tammy.
Hi.
Malfors.
Yep. Tammy Malfors, Interim Director with Beach Safety.
And what does that mean?
That means that I get to play on the beach every day.
Yeah, nice.
No, I'm Interim Director of Beach Safety, so I oversee all the operations and administrative, things that happen on the beach, the lifeguards and everything that goes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tammy, how long have you been there?
20's going on my 27th summer.
Wow.
Yes.
That is a long time at the beach.
It is a long time at the beach.
And that does sound like a pretty cool job.
Yeah, it is. When I started off as a seasonal lifeguard, and I've been there ever since.
Okay. Probably lots of changes in lifeguard programs, beach safety
Yes.
over 25, 30 years, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We when I started, we were triple trained, and then we just went through our transition last year. So we're not law enforcement now. We're just ocean rescue and EMS, which definitely keeps us busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you guys expecting for the holiday weekend for Memorial Day?
We're expecting, this is like the unofficial start of the beach season, so we're expecting it to be extremely busy, very crowded. As you can see, the weather is going to be beautiful. It's going to be very hot. People are going to flock to the beach for for some water time and ocean time and all the things that people like to do on the beach. So it's going to be very busy. We are looking at those mid-morning high tides, so people need to download our Volusia Beaches app that has real-time information. You can find out where those beach access ramps are open and closed, but just remember, if you don't get to the beach too early, check that app out and find out what beach access ramps are open before you come down.
Oh, so they're not all open.
Well, they'll all be open in the morning, but during that midday high tide, we'll have to close some of those access ramps to driving. So that may cause some traffic backups. And also we do have it's turtle nesting season, and we do have that conservation zone down there. So we need people to make sure they're parking on the water side of all those conservation posts. That's extremely important. They cannot encroach into the conservation area even during the high tide conditions. So there's a lot of things. You get on that beach app and you can find out all that information.
So why is that important? Why can't I just park my Jeep up in the dunes?
Well, we have.
You might get stuck for one.
Yeah.
If you work in the dune.
Well, you have that.
My Jeep. I actually do have the only Jeep in the world that gets stuck. It's embarrassing as hell.
Yeah, well, you have that conservation area for a lot of different reasons to build those dunes up and to protect the wildlife. Also, the sea turtles nest in that area, so we have to keep all the vehicles out of that area.
Okay.
Now you bring up sea turtle nesting. I know there's a lot of rules and regulations around what people can do if they see a nest. What would you suggest someone does? Like, are they allowed to go into the nest? Are they allowed? What can they do? What can they not do?
No, absolutely not. You can take pictures and look at it, but absolutely you can't go into the nest. Yeah.
If you do see a sea turtle nesting during the day, please call beach safety so they can come and set a perimeter up. It's most likely the Kemp's Ridley, which is an extremely rare sea turtle. So there's a possibility you could get lucky and see one of those mamas come up to lay her nest, but definitely let us know about it. Stop a lifeguard, stop a law enforcement officer, anybody, and we'll make sure that she can safely put her nest in the ground.
How cool is that?
So I've seen one maybe in my entire life, right? How many have you seen? Like, just 'cause I would guess you guys see them all the time.
The nests or the nesting mamas?
Well, the nesting mamas, yeah.
The nesting mamas are usually at nighttime.
Right.
The majority of our nests occur at nighttime. We had the largest amount of sea turtle nests last year we've ever had, and I believe we had about 30 of these daytime nesters last year, the Kemp's Ridleys. So if you're out on the beach at night, that's why we have rules and requirements about certain flashlights. We don't want to disorient the mama. You definitely do not interact with a nesting sea turtle, even if you're out there at night. Leave space, observe, but let her do her job. Just like you don't want to talk or harass a pregnant woman, you don't want to talk or harass a pregnant nesting sea turtle either. So please leave her alone and give her space so that she can do what she needs to do safely.
Jessica's statements are all her own, and they do not reflect they do not reflect Volusia Today. So why Kemp's during the day?
That's just how their biological clock works.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought they were all at night.
Nope, the Kemps usually do daytime nesting.
Okay.
That's so interesting.
It is, right?
Now, the ones that are at night, they are guided by the moonlight, right? And so that's what disorients them to an extent, I'm assuming.
So when they hatch, the hatchlings are guided by the moon back out to the ocean. The mamas, and Tammy has much more experience on this than I do, but it's my understanding that typically where a sea turtle nests or where a sea turtle hatches from, that's where they will tend to come back and nest in future years. Mm-hmm. So they will come up, they've got a certain time frame which their eggs are viable. If they come up and they, immediately after the storms last year, we had something called a false crawl because our beach profile was so low. We didn't have that nesting beach at high tide. So they have the option to come on shore. If they find a place to nest, they'll drop their eggs. But they can come up and back and forth for up to a week and looking for a place. They'll come at a different point, but they kind of come within the same like 500 to 1,000 feet of where they actually hatched. It's just ingrained in their brains.
Wow, that's amazing.
Cool.
Oh, I thought you okay, dead air's not good. It's
Sorry.
radio.
It just really threw my brain for a loop.
That really is amazing that they come back to the same place every time. I tell you what, let's take a break and come back and talk about again some beach safety tips for the holiday weekend. And Jessica, I'd like to dig in a little more into what you guys have opened after the hurricanes.
Subscribe to the Volusia County YouTube channel.
And hit the bell icon to know what's happening in your hometown.
There are so many great places to explore.
And things to learn.
With over 1,000 videos available right now, the channel offers something for everyone.
Let's go!
Did you know we have countless features showcasing history, nature, wildlife, and recreation? Subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Or that we live stream important county meetings and workshops where leaders make decisions that can impact our everyday lives. Did you subscribe yet?
Or that we record our weekly radio show, Volusia Today, where we interview staff from the different divisions and departments across our great county, and they discuss the nitty-gritty of their field and expertise.
Go ahead, subscribe.
But that's not it. There's more. Subscribe and hit the bell icon and fully explore.
Score!
Welcome back to Volusia Today. My name is Michael, and you are here with me and Maggie talking Memorial Day weekend at the beach. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning. How are you?
So, in all your wedding plans, are you going to make it to the beach this weekend?
I'll try my best, you know. I don't know. It's a little hot. It can get a little dangerous out there.
Yeah.
I like my bed sometimes on the weekend, so we'll see. We'll find out.
Well, I tell you what, that's a good segue. Let's dig into that. And Tammy, we'll come back to parking in 1 second real quick. Tammy, what are the dangers of going to the beach on Memorial Day weekend?
The biggest danger is rip currents. Okay, so we've rescued a little over 400 people since the beginning of March. And going into this weekend, we plan on having a lot of water rescues. It's so important to swim in front of those staff lifeguard towers. Download that beach app for that real-time information and find out where those lifeguards are before you come to the beach. If there's not a lifeguard, don't go in the water. We rescued about 23 people over the last 2 days, and we expect it to be a busy water weekend. So.
Well, I have a question. Rip currents. So I grew up in Florida. I've been in Florida my entire life. I have heard so many mixed opinions about what you're supposed to do if you're caught in a rip current. What would you recommend?
Okay, first line of defense is swim in front of those staff lifeguard towers. They can see you caught in a rip current before you even realize it most of the time. Don't panic. The rip current's not going to pull you underwater. It's just going to pull you into deeper water. You can float. Tread water, try to swim parallel to shore, either left or right. Don't try to swim back in through that rip current. That's when people get exhausted, and that's when drownings do occur. Don't panic, yell for help, swim with a buddy. Don't ever go in the water alone. And, most importantly, again, swim in front of those staff lifeguard towers.
Good to know.
What else do we need to be conscious about, like safety-wise?
It is a driving beach. So if you have small children and you want to come to the beach, you can bring your small child to the driving portion of the beach. Good thing to do is set up all your belongings on the water side of the traffic lane, your tents, your coolers, everything you're going to need for the day that limits the child from wanting to travel back and forth across that traffic lane.
Yeah, that's great.
But if that child does cross that traffic lane, make sure you're holding their hand at all times. Or you can opt for many areas of our beach that have no driving. We have a lot of off-beach parking, no driving areas that you can opt for. That's a good option as well. If you drive on the beach, remember, pay attention, have your driver's side window down. Speed limit is 10 miles an hour, and that's strictly enforced. So there's a lot of things that you can do to be safe on the beach. So get on our Volusia Beaches app. It has a lot of that great information.
So Maggie and her husband have a lifted truck, and they want to go down. Where are they going to go?
Well, if you have a truck that's lifted and it's like one of those squat trucks, they're not allowed on the beach. So just find some of those off-beach parking
James
areas.
does not drive a squat truck. I feel like I should clarify for people.
What and in 2024, this should be a no-brainer. But talk to me a little bit about the sun and how I protect myself.
Yeah, absolutely. When you get down on the beach, it's going to be very hot this weekend. Make sure you have shade. Make sure you have plenty of water. Hydrate yourself. Do not drink alcohol on the beach in the sun. It's not a good idea.
You got to leave that Mad Dog at home.
No, alcohol is strictly prohibited on the beach in any type of container, so leave that at home. And wear your sunblock. Reapply it, especially if you're sweating and in the water. You need to reapply that sunblock like every 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And for those of us who don't live here but may be listening, when you say prohibited, that means it's illegal on the beach, right?
Yes, it is illegal. It's a county ordinance violation. It is an arrestable offense. So leave that alcohol at home.
Okay. So, Jessica, once I left my alcohol at home, but I still want to go to the beach.
Turn around and get a drink. And
Go get a drink first.
Go to the bar.
Well, so you leave your personal life off my radio show. So, where do we go though? How do I find parking? What if I want to park? Let's talk about off-beach parking first.
So right now you are looking at high tides on our beaches at 10 on Saturday, 11 on Sunday, and about noon on Monday. Typically, we have the beach closed for about 2 hours leading up to and 2 hours after. So if you're coming over at 10 o'clock on any of our holiday weekend days this year, the beach is most likely going to be closed to driving. We have over 5,000 parking spaces across our entire coastline that are county maintained and currently complimentary. So download that Beaches app. Again, it will tell you your tides. Remember that 2 hour time frame around the tide. And then look for off-beach parking availability. We will have open accesses. We have opened up over 120 walkovers across our county since the 2022 storm. So we have access everywhere.
That's a lot.
We do have some of our approaches are not ADA, but access is available. I encourage you to download the app, use it for your pedestrian accesses as well as off-beach parking. We are working on improvements for next year. I hope you call me back in February, March so we can talk about how we'll be able to tell you capacity levels at our off-beach parking. That's something we're planning for next year, but this year it will tell you if parking is available. You may have to search around if you come during the peak part of the day.
So where's the lion's share of those parking spaces?
Well, everybody has parking. Every single municipality and region of our beach. If you want to go to New Smyrna, we've got some what I call onesie-twosies in the avenues of New Smyrna Beach. There are multiple parking lots in the shores. We've got Frank Rendon is open. Dahlia is open. You've got driving in the shores. You've got the DeMott Beach approach. Every single one of the county right-of-ways where parking is there, as long as there's not a sign saying no parking between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m., you can park there. Okay. Use the beach app. It will tell you every single hidey hole. If there are 2 parking spaces at 10th Avenue in New Smyrna, it's on the app so that you know you can drive by 10th Avenue. You've got parking in Orem by the Sea if you want to go to a more remote area. There's roadside parking on Orem by the Sea. Adjacent on the east side of Ocean Shore Boulevard. As long as there isn't a no parking sign there, you can park there. If you want to be in the thick of it, you always have the garage at the Ocean Center that gets you right to the boardwalk. You always have a surface lot near the Ocean Center that can get you right to the boardwalk. So there's parking available. You just have to look around for it. And definitely download our Beaches app because it will tell you where to go.
Okay. Should I download the Beaches app?
I think you should download it.
You're pretty consistent.
Seriously, you get staff lifeguard locations, you get open walkovers, you get off-beach parking, you get restrooms, and you get real-time status of the beach ramps, and you get the tides. So you can leave your house and go, oh crap, we just timed it wrong. We got to find a lot. Where can we go?
Right.
And then you can plan accordingly versus, showing up on Flagler Avenue and wondering, is it just the volume? Is it closed? Should I stay or should I go? Let's play the old song. And the app will kind of give you some insight on how to plan your day best for less time in the car, more time on the beach.
And the app is free, I'm assuming.
The app is free. You've got it on Android and Apple. So anybody with a smartphone can download it. If you got a tablet, go for it. We definitely encourage it.
Okay. I tell you what, let's take our last break, and we're going to come back and talk about where Jessica goes to the beach on the weekend. I'm excited to know. You've got a secret spot somewhere. Okay, tell us about it. We'll be right back.
We are Volusia County Beach Safety. We're here to serve Volusia County's 47 miles of unique coastline. You know, Volusia County beaches. Yeah, those beaches. But also these beaches. We have millions of visitors every year, and we work around the clock to keep our beaches safe and beautiful. And you can help.
Swim near a staff lifeguard tower.
Pick up your trash. And fill holes. Identify, avoid, and escape rip currents.
Please leave the beach cleaner than you found it.
There we go. Look out for one another.
and keep an eye on kids, especially near the traffic lane and in the water.
Pets are allowed at our 2 pet-friendly beaches, Lighthouse Point Park and Smyrna Dunes Park.
If you see something, say something.
A clean and safe beach guarantees fun in the sun for everyone. Thank you for doing your part to keep Volusia County beaches beautiful. See you at the beach!
Make the most of your day at the beach. Download the Volusia County Beaches app today. Sign up for real-time notifications on vehicle ramp openings and closings. Find staffed lifeguard towers. Get updates on tides and beach conditions, plus off-beach parking and coastal parks info. Volusia County Beaches app is available for your smart devices at the App Store and Google Play.
Welcome back to Volusia Today. Happy Friday. We've been talking all things beaches. And Jessica, I think you're going to share your secret little hidey hole with us.
So mine's not a secret. It's the jetty in New Smyrna. My husband is an avid surfer. There are some really good tide pools out there right now. I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. So he goes out there, he spends whatever time he wants to. And then I'm just sitting there looking at critters in the tide pool with my girls. So. It's a wide open beach up there.
Oh, that must be so fun. And there's no driving on jetty beaches there?
There is. You get on a beachway. You can access the jetty. There's an avid fishing community, avid surfing contest community up there as well. And it's just all around kind of a good crowd. So
It feels more local down there to me.
Hyper local, unless the waves are going and then Melbourne and Coco show up. And
yeah,
you know, we're nice to them. We give them a wave every once in a while.
It's definitely one of the it's definitely one of the best surfing destinations on the East Coast.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So people come up from Melbourne and Coco for.
We are the most consistent wave on the East Coast of Florida.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Maybe I should give surfing a try. I'm way too scared though.
Don't do it at the jetty. Start in front of a staffed lifeguard tower.
I think maybe I'll just start in my dreams and just stay there maybe.
So tell me, because you're on the beach all day, every day, where do you go?
I go usually in Daytona Beach Shores. It's a great area. I live in that area, and I love that area. I live on the beach side. I live across the street from the beach, so I just walk over usually.
So wait, so after being at the beach all day, you still go down for recreation?
I go, yes. I'm on the beach almost every weekend when I'm off. Yes.
Good for you. So Memorial Day. What else? We talked about sun. We talked about driving. We talked a little bit about off-beach parking. Let's talk trash for a second.
So Memorial Day is one of our biggest trash weekends. I just want everybody to know that we're timing the tide, and the good thing about a morning midday tide is that we have the option of throwing additional trash bags out on our beaches east of the travel lane. So we try to make it as absolutely easy as possible to do the right thing. Obviously, locals are really good with this. They pack in, pack out. They take what they want, and they even walk and pick up whatever the ocean brings in. We can empty the trash cans up to 6 times a day. So especially on our busy weekends, if you see trash in the trash can and it's piled up, that just means we are at the teeth. We'll probably have over 20,000 vehicles come to our beaches through off-beach parking and on our beaches. So just because it's full doesn't mean we didn't empty it an hour ago, and doesn't mean we're not going to be out there in 20 minutes emptying it again. So just be patient with us. Put it in the trash can. If the trash can's full, set it next to the trash can, and we're more than happy to grab it when we do our runs.
Wow, 6 times a day is a lot.
We run a lot of trash on our major holiday weekends. 37 miles and, over 20,000 vehicles. Yeah. So to extrapolate that, that's almost 100,000 visitors, not to mention the people that are staying in hotels and live beachside.
What about big stuff? Do you guys see a lot of like people leave broken chairs or tents, all this? Do they?
Yeah, broken tents, broken chairs, grills, boogie boards. And then, every once in a while the ocean brings us gifts that we have to also find homes for.
Is that what you call them?
Yeah. It's great.
Hey, before we go real quick, let's talk lifeguards. You guys are always recruiting.
Absolutely. There's a national lifeguard shortage. We're feeling the effects of that as well. We've been recruiting since last year for this year. And we have our 3rd recruit class coming up. We do have a tryout tomorrow. So download our beach app and get on our Facebook and find out the locations of our tryouts. We have 2 left, and we have that 3rd recruit class, June 3rd. So get on volusia.org, beaches, and find out all that information.
So is there a minimum age?
16. Okay. You got to be 16 by June 1st.
And so you qualify, Maggie. You're going to be just fine.
Thank you.
Is there, and for maybe maybe asking for myself, what is the top end of that age range?
There really isn't any. I actually have an old lifeguard that just called me that's coming. He wants to come back. He's 73. and he can still swim his 500 meter requirement, and so he's ready to go.
How great!
Yeah,
How great.
yeah.
So anything else? So we talked about lifeguards. We talked about the beach app, swim in front of a lifeguard, rip currents, parking. Minute and a half left. What do we need to cover?
Parking. If you come down to the beach and you park, make sure you do not lay out or set up your belongings in between vehicles in the parking area. That is a county ordinance violation as well, and it's a safety hazard. You do not want to be setting up where people are going to pull in to park. So if you drive down, set up your belongings in front or behind your vehicle, or best place is down by water's edge. That may be a little tricky during the high tide, but best place is down by water's edge. And if you're visiting and you're in a hotel, make sure you don't set up any of your stuff in the parking area.
Okay. You guys, will you both be at the beach recreationally this weekend?
We will both be working.
Okay.
The faces just took a very big downfall. Yeah.
Look how happy you and I are about
So
Memorial
you guys
Day
have a
weekend.
great, fun weekend.
There's an army of county employees that work every holiday to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Yes.
From emergency medical technicians to firefighters to sheriff's deputies to lifeguards to my folks who maintain pickup trash and just kind of keep all the wheels on the bus rolling. So while you're having fun, just remember that there's other people behind the scenes making it work. And remember the reason for the holiday. There's a lot of people that gave their lives just so that we could have the freedom and the recreational opportunities that we do.
Absolutely.
That's it. Have a great weekend.